This video I discussed the best meme coins to buy in January 2024. You don't want to miss this one because I'm going to discuss what's actually trending at the moment in terms of the exact chains and also some other bullish news we've heard. So the overall market cap for meme coins, it says here on CoinMarketCap is 22 billion. It's more probably closer to 25 or 26 billion at the moment. And more than half of that is just Dogecoin. Dogecoin is one of the most popular meme coins, and Shiba Inu, most of you will have heard of that, and recently Bonk as well on the Solana chain. Now we've got Pepe, which was popular earlier in the year, and then we have smaller ones, but have a look here, and this is number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9th now in all of meme coin land. It's Coq Inu, which is one of the largest ones on the Avalanche chain, and it's already got a market cap of 110 million. Now this is actually down a fair bit from the highs, but in this video, I'm going to discuss this particular coin and a few others because I think Avalanche could have a massive move. And this is why. This is one of the reasons why. So if you have a look at this on Avalanche, basically the actual Avalanche team have shared the fact that they are looking to invest in some of the best Avalanche-based meme coins. And what they're going to look at in terms of these is those that had a fair launch, project maturity, liquidity thresholds, holders, overall social sentiment. So for example, that could be things like Twitter followers, for example. So they're going to look at all of this stuff. Now, obviously, with this information was only released hours ago. What do you think's happening to the Avalanche meme coins? That's where we're going to go to next on the charts. By the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I discussed this and actually shared this tweet on my account. The handle is @SajadFlips, and I'll link it below as well in the description area. So in terms of some of the meme coins I'm tracking at the moment, a few of these, you can see the ones ending in WAVAX. These are all ones on Avalanche. Now notice things like Bonk have barely moved today. You'll hear people talk about it on Twitter a lot, but that doesn't mean anything. It's barely up a few percent. Because if I actually zoom out, that's a 5-minute chart. If I zoom out to daily, you can see it's barely moved off the lows at the moment. Now, could it be bottoming out? Who knows? But my main point, one of the main points in this video is this was the Solana trend. Trends change, narratives change, rotations happen. And we could be seeing that right now. However, you do want to look at some of the older meme coins. Now, if you saw my recent meme coins masterclass video, you'll see me saying that you should be only holding these meme coins for hours or days. And generally, you want to invest when they first launch fresh, if you're a trader. However, there is another area, I would call it maybe a third wave, another area where you might want to invest in some of these longer term, well-established coins. And now would be a time to consider that. So how do I do that? I track coins like Bonk, for example, like Dogecoin, like Pepe as well, and I wait to see if we're getting any significant breakout. Now this move, for example, in Pepe from October, if you can just actually chart it, from 21st of October when all the altcoins were moving, it's up 100%. This is horrendously bad. This is not good at all. Why not? Because relatively speaking, in terms of relative strength compared to all the altcoins, some of which have actually done a 10x from here, some 5x, some at least 2 to 3x, even bigger ones like AVAX and Solana, they've done 3-4x's minimum from 21st October. And Pepe's barely double in price. That's not good. I'm not going to be considering this one at all. However, I will be tracking it on my watch list. Why? Because if we get a significant breakout above this previous area of resistance, well, then we could be heading towards all-time highs. But you have to be careful with these other big coins as well, because all-time highs might not be as big as move as you think. It may only, for some of these bigger coins, it might only be a 200% or something like that. So that's why it's better to go for some of the medium cap, if you want to call it that, meme coins on the same chain that seem to be trending right now. And that's why if you look on AVAX, you'll see that Coq Inu, if you have a look just at the candles, this is a daily chart, by the way. So let me just remove the drawings. A very bullish daily candle, move off the lows. Now, generally in terms of technical analysis, this is a good sign. There's no guarantee of anything. Obviously, it's moving based on the news we saw initially, but can it hold the trend? Now, if you go into a smaller time frame, what do you want to see? So I would actually drop onto a 5-minute or 15-minute. And what I can see in terms of moving off the lows is it's an impulsive move off the lows. So that's the first good sign. But then the other thing you want to check, as I mentioned in my recent video, is volume. We saw volume moving back into the market at this peak here as well, but also this peak. So we're seeing some divergence and some volume coming back into the market. Now we need to see that sustained. So if this goes sideways now or starts to drag down because the volume is lower, we need to see it break out again. And if this starts to move towards all-time highs, I think Coq Inu has a very, very good chance of going a lot higher than all-time highs. But again, it's all based on structure and price action. If it's attacking, if the price is getting up anywhere near here, then yeah, there's a very good probability it's going to break all-time highs and then sky's the limit. And you can see how much it goes from here. And maybe it will do a 10x from here. Who knows? Because that will only take it to a barely 1 billion market cap, which is still a lot smaller than some of the largest meme coins. For example, if you have a look on here, largest 13 billion, 6 billion, and then Bonk just under 1 billion. That's, in my opinion, that's best case scenario. We can't start talking about all meme coins, as I said before, and we believe they're all going to be a Dogecoin. It's never going to happen. Nothing's going to move like Dogecoin again. That's just the way it works with cryptocurrency. The other ones I'm watching, just purely because they've moved, one I'm actually transparency I'm already involved in is Wolf. And this one has moved a lot off the lows. But if you actually zoom out, it's not been around long. So obviously you can see just since 11th of December. But the argument here with this one, is this one of the more legit ones on Avalanche that the Avalanche team might consider? It was down 97%. And just a warning with this as well, just because something's down 97% and you get involved with it, it doesn't mean it's no risk. So let me zoom out and give you an example. So this is moving now, which is really good. And let's say somebody new wants to jump in here. Now you might think you're buying really cheap. Now, relatively speaking to the highs, yeah, it is really cheap. But let's say it moves up and then just moves down a bit and then kind of does nothing there. No big deal, right? It's still kind of low and stuff. But from that point, the drop, which means the overall drop might be 98% rather than 97%, so it doesn't seem much different. But from your position, you may have dropped 50%. So if you put $1,000 in, you might be down to £500. So anytime you invest in meme coins, it's never cheap or it's never risk-free. So just be very clear on that. Even at these lows, there's risk. But for me, in terms of, approaching this as a trader, what am I seeing? I'm seeing lots and lots of volume coming into the market. Volume moves meme coins, nothing else. As soon as volume dries up, the price starts trending down. Simple as that. Don't overcomplicate things like this. There are other signs and things I look for, but the main one is volume. So Wolf is another one that I'm looking at the moment. Now, we talked about Pepe. We talked about Bonk. Another one is Snak, S-N-E-K. Let's have a look at that one. Snak, after a massive move up and a high on the 16th, it's down from the absolute peak. We're talking 50%. So nothing too bad. So you could call that almost like a healthy retracement. This all looks corrective as well. So what do we want to see now? We want to see, is there some volume coming in? There's a little bit more volume, but nothing significant. And this pattern it's tracking is kind of flagging at the moment, which is usually corrective and may break down. But it's one, again, you want to keep an eye on, because if this starts attacking this area here, and it's very hard for me to even read the levels of it because there's all these zeros with meme coins, which of course is a marketing strategy to make it look like everything is so cheap to buy. If it gets back to 35%, I would give up the 35%. If it breaks down, it may break down, mess about, do all kind of stuff here. But when it gets back here and it starts attacking this level, then I'm interested, because obviously the probability states that once it gets above here, it's not far from all-time highs. It's probably going to attack all-time highs. And then from there, again, sky's the limit. Anytime anything goes above all-time highs, the sky's the limit. So you don't really have any resistance levels above that. So this is another one I'm tracking as well. Briefly discuss Dogecoin, and I've discussed this in another video, and I won't touch this. And the reason is the same reason as I've said for all of the others. It's not doing anything. When it's not doing anything, I'm not going to make any return. So if you actually scroll out to a daily chart, one thing you could say is if we get a full-on bear market and everything in the world moves, then yeah, it's definitely going to go up. But can it go up in a massive way? Yes, potentially. If Elon Musk says something about it, or there's other kind of bullish news, it will break out. And this is a long-term accumulation zone. So if it breaks out, the breakout will be strong. And it looks like it's flagging at the moment, readying more breakout. So that's a good sign as well. But I'm not interested until it actually breaks out, because it could be months, it could be days, it could be hours, we don't know. This is an area where there's very strong resistance. However, if it curves around and eventually breaks out, when it breaks out, then I'm interested. And then I would trade it, because the move up could be nice. But again, how much is the move up? Well, to get to all-time highs, which is, again, it's probability-wise, it's quite unlikely, because you're going to get it back to a market cap which was ridiculous even at the time, but we're talking about 500x. So it has potential. So it's one you keep on your watch list. If it breaks out in 2024, you could be all over it, because minimum you'll get a 2x and stuff from this. But again, you're going to get more of the gains, not from the main meme coins, but from its friends, the slightly smaller ones that have strong narratives or something new or different. Like, for example, Solana is making all the gains this time, not Ethereum. Very easy. Leave the original ones, go with the new one that's better and offers more. And the thing about meme coins is, as I mentioned in the previous video, a lot of them, 99% of them, don't ever claim to have any roadmap or anything. We know it's just a meme coin. It's a bit of fun. It's funny, haha, that's all. And people make money from it. But some of them, the bigger ones, they now have a lot of utility. Like Bonk, for example, with the Bonk pot and stuff like that, there's utility involved. And when there's a roadmap and utility, this will increase the perceived value of these coins, which is bullish. I'm going to be discussing some brand new coins that have just been dropping on Avalanche as well. Make sure you subscribe and we'll discuss that in the next video. Thanks for listening.